Revealing the secrets of the sudden drop float technique, float type selection, adjustment skills, and bait size. The sudden drop is one of the most exciting float signals in fishing, especially when targeting species like crucian carp. This signal is defined by a sharp, forceful downward jerk of the float. The drop can vary in intensity: a large sudden drop, more than one eye drop, and a small sudden drop, half an eye or less. Understanding and mastering the techniques behind this signal is crucial for increasing your chances of success. Let's break down the various factors involved in optimizing your technique for the sudden drop float. 1. The mystery of sudden drop formation. A sudden drop is essentially the float's reaction to a fish's feeding behavior. Whether it's a slight premonitory tremor or a dramatic drop, the movements are direct manifestations of the fish's activity. Large sudden drop. This often indicates that a larger fish has taken the bait or that the fish is feeding aggressively. Small sudden drop. This suggests that a smaller fish has bitten or the fish is testing the bait lightly. Key insight: the sudden drop's characteristics vary depending on factors like fish species, size, feeding activity, and the water environment. Recognizing these patterns is essential to knowing the right moment to set the hook. 2. The art of float type selection. The type of float you use is crucial for detecting sudden drop signals accurately. A float is composed of 3 main parts: the float foot, float body, and float tip. These components influence how sensitive the float is to movements below the water surface. Short body floats, like jujube-shaped floats, are particularly good at transmitting subtle signals like the sudden drop. They are more responsive to small, quick movements caused by fish bites. Long body floats, while good for detecting more noticeable signals, may not be as sensitive for sudden drops. Float tip sensitivity. The length and sensitivity of the float's tip are directly linked to how clearly it can detect and display subtle movements. A short, sensitive tip will catch the minor jerks or twitches that are characteristic of a sudden drop. 3. In-depth analysis of adjustment techniques. Adjusting your float correctly is a key part of fishing. Here's how the adjustments relate to sudden drop signals. High adjustment and low fishing. This method sets the hook distance to around 2 eyes, shorter distance between the hook and float. Adjustments such as adjust 3 fish 2, adjust 4 fish 2, or adjust 5 fish 3 will make the float more sensitive to small changes in movement, thus highlighting the sudden drop signals. Low adjustment and high fishing. In this case, the hook distance is set higher, making the fishing less sensitive and better for observing signals like rising float rather than sudden drops. Settings like adjust 1 fish 3 or adjust 2 fish 4 are often used for fishing in murkier water or for larger fish species. Strategic adjustment. Tailor your adjustments to the fish species and water conditions you're dealing with. High adjustment and low fishing strategies are ideal for sensitive sudden drop detection, while low adjustment works for more aggressive or larger fish. 4. The subtle balance of bait size. The size of your bait plays an integral role in how well the float signals are transmitted. If your bait is too large, fish may struggle to swallow it in one bite, leading to chaotic float movement and difficulty distinguishing the signal. Conversely, overly small bait is too easily swallowed, often resulting in weak signals, small sudden drops, or no signal at all. The right size bait. Choose a bait that is appropriate for the size of the target fish. This will help ensure the fish can bite properly and create clear, Distinguishable sudden drop signals. Ideal bait size. For species like crucian carp, start with a bait size that is slightly larger than the mouth of the fish, but not so large that it causes unnecessary disturbance. 5. Grasping the timing for precise rod lifting. Timing is everything when you see the sudden drop signal. Here's how to determine when to lift your rod. Forceful drop followed by a rise. If the float drops and then rises back up, this is the perfect time to set the hook. The rise indicates the fish has taken the bait but hasn't fully swallowed it. Continuous and obvious downward drops. If the float drops multiple times without rising, it's a good sign the fish has taken the bait completely, and lifting the rod at this point will yield great results. Carp 3 knots pattern. This involves a sequence where the float drops, rises again, drops a second time, and finally, the float goes under, a black float. This is a golden opportunity for lifting the rod. Perfect timing. The key to success is lifting the rod when you see a clear downward drop followed by a rise, or when the float is fully submerged, indicating a confident bite. Conclusion. Mastering the sudden drop float technique requires an understanding of the right float type, the proper adjustments based on your fishing conditions, the correct bait size, and the precise timing for setting the hook. By paying attention to these factors, you can dramatically improve your fishing efficiency, especially when targeting fish like crucian carp. Remember, practice makes perfect, and each fishing session gives you more insight into the behavior of the fish and how best to adapt your technique for success. About the author. I'm a passionate fishing enthusiast and blogger, dedicated to sharing insights, techniques, and tips for mastering the art of fishing. Follow me for more in-depth fishing strategies, and don't miss out on future updates.